This 100-year-old farmhouse desperately needs to be updated. We'll catch all the action as it undergoes a major remodel coming up next on Before and After. Hello there, I'm Pat Simpson. Welcome to Before and After. Now I'm sitting on the front porch of this newly remodeled country home which doesn't look anything like it did before, and we'll get a chance to tour the entire home a little bit later on after we meet the architect responsible for its impressive design. We'll also get a chance to take a look at the construction process. But first, let's go back in time when we first met the owners, Dick and Sue, and see just exactly why they wanted to go through this remodel to begin with.
Well, the house is about 100 years old, but the basement and the furnace are not that old because they were moved onto the land about 1975. And this house was moved here from about 7 miles away. We mushroom out here because we have secret places for morels right here on the property, and we have dogs and cats and kids, the whole works, so it's a beautiful spot.
The spot may be beautiful, but the house itself isn't.
It is a typical farmhouse. It's got the very small closets, and they're all slanted and hard to use. And the house itself is not particularly well laid out. It's got some fun things. It's got stairs that go up and down on both sides of the kitchen and the dining room.
One of the not-so-fun things about this house is the antiquated plumbing, which is causing major problems for the family.
It was working partially, and if you didn't stress it too much, it got by. But if everybody wanted to take a bath in one night, it was a problem.
So what we were doing was bailing the bathtub out the window onto the deck, which, you know, that was sort of the major culmination of a lot of little things of owning an old house like this. Nothing works. I need a new kitchen. The kitchen was so small when we first came in here that we took out one of the few closets in the house and put the dishwasher into there, so I would at least get a little more space in the pantry. There's only one plug in each room because they added electricity afterwards. And then also our deck, which is falling apart and couldn't be saved if you tried.
There is another part of the house, however, that Dick and Sue would like to save.
We've got wood floors throughout the entire house. That's been nice, and it's been real comfortable while we've been here, but it just doesn't work with our lifestyle and the way we want to do things.
But we've talked about maybe putting some of the wood floors into the library. I've always wanted a library, and so that's one of the other things we incorporated into this. We're going to have a place for all our books, and I won't have to give them up.
We've also added an addition, or will be adding an addition, for my parents who are retired and will be coming to stay with us.
I'm really looking forward to having the parents here and able to enjoy and watch their grandchildren growing and do some of those things, and I think we've carved them a nice little spot.
We'll show you the results of the dramatic change from farmhouse to dream house, but next we're going to meet the architect Jeff Stromgren and see exactly what he had in mind when he designed Dick and Sue's new home. Hello there, welcome back to Before and After. I'm Pat Simpson. Now, we've just met the homeowners, Dick and Sue, who lived in this small country farmhouse for about 10 years before they actually decided to do a whole house remodel. This is the man that they came to for help. This is Jeff Stromgren of Rice Stromgren Architects. Jeff, what did they want when they first came to you? What were their objectives?
Two basic things. Number one was just a lot more space, and the second one was to maximize the views on the site.
Okay, so that was your focal point, and this is what you came up with, so let's go over that. Now, this is the before. This is the first floor, typical of a 1900s farm home. Dining room, living room in front, small den, kitchen on the back of the house, but there was very little workspace in here. And this is what you came up with, and this gray area represents the original footprint, right? Okay, correct. Tell me about it.
We'll take this off.
Yeah.
We took the kitchen area and created a new family room, added a lot of windows, created some wonderful views down the bluff, put a new kitchen and dining room over here. a lot of workspace, a lot of storage area. That opens into a new salon space that we created, which is really kind of the main welcoming space into the house.
Right.
Right here, we've got a new library. That was a prime concern of Dick and Sue's in this project. We also have a large wing here for Dick's parents who've moved in with the family.
Okay, so now they have their own area over there. All right, now let's move on to the second floor. Same thing, original footprint. This is the before. 3 bedrooms, storage room, and a small bath up top. But you changed that drastically. And this blue shade, this blue tint here, represents the before. Let me take this off and tell me about the after.
Okay, here we've created a master bedroom suite with a large walk-in closet, master bath with a whirlpool tub with good views over the bluff, and a deck here which has got fantastic views down the bluff and towards the river.
Okay.
Here we've got 2 large bedrooms for the kids with walk-in closets there, large open hallway and stairwell there, and we added the laundry on the second floor for convenience.
This was a good move right here. These 2 bedrooms now became master bath and a laundry right there, so that was a very good use of space. Now this is the photograph of the before of the front of the house, and it was nice in its time, but it's just not big enough for what they wanted. And this is the after. This is beautiful, Jeff. Tell me how you came up with this. What about this?
All right. What we've done here, Pat, is create an entry porch. Draws your attention to the front of the house.
Right.
Here's the salon that we talked about. You enter into that as you enter the house. The wing up here is to the north is the in-laws wing. Up here we've got the bedroom spaces, and right in this area we've got the kitchen and dining area. That's an addition to the house, with a screened porch out to the south and a deck above.
We've got a great view from this side of the house. Now let's talk about the back in the same way. This is the before photograph of the back of the house, very typical of its time once again. And this is the after. And the first thing I notice, all these windows. This has to create a great view.
Oh, it does. It does. Here's the family room we created out of the old kitchen, and we added a lot of windows, as you said, a wonderful view. Master bedroom is above that. We've got the kitchen over here with a lot of natural light coming in, a bedroom above that with a deck. And here, this tall window is the window seat in the stairwell. It brings a lot of natural light into the center of the house.
They had about 1,500 square feet before. How many did we add?
We added 2,100 square feet.
Total of 3,600 feet, is that right? They doubled their space.
More than doubled.
This is beautiful. Now, we're going to see more of this in just a moment. In fact, the homeowners are going to join us, as well as you're going to join us back out there for the after tour as well. But first, let's go out to the construction site and see exactly what's going on out there. Our first visit to the site is 6 weeks into construction. The addition to the house is already partially framed, so we get an idea of how much larger the house will be once this project is complete. The interior is loaded with construction debris and looks like a war zone, especially the bathroom, where the tub that caused the family so many problems has been cheerfully torn apart. The big news today, however, is that the whole second floor is going to be ripped off. Shane Linder of Terrasol Restoration and Renovation explains how.
We'll be removing the upstairs roof here by these metal hooks that are going all the way through the roof on the outside. Here we have the 2x6s, and these are spanned across the rafters that are in here. They'll be pulled off with the boom truck. The entire upstairs is separated. We have made sawzall cuts at the bottom of each one of the studs here, and anticipating problems with the sheathing, we've also made some chainsaw cuts.
The boom is attached and begins to pull, causing half the second floor to be slowly uprooted. It all ends up in a crashing finale. Six weeks later, the exterior framing has been finished, including the new second floor, which will house most of the bedrooms. They've already had to shovel snow out of the house several times, and another storm is on the way. So Dick, the homeowner, decided to spend today helping out the crew.
Trying to get the windows in before the snow comes.
Well, they've certainly got their work cut out for them. This home has plenty of windows to install. Inside, the framing is almost complete, and Dick and Sue are already planning where to place their furniture. That is, once they move out of the garage guest house where they're living during the remodel.
The garage has turned out to be surprisingly comfortable, and we really haven't had any major drawbacks. The kids have adapted to it pretty well. Outside of the dog dragging off everybody's gloves whenever they set something down, we haven't really encountered any major problems.
Well, it's 5 weeks later, and Mark Johnson of Terrasol Restoration and Renovation has had some bad news for the family.
This foundation wall here was found to have a big 3-inch bowl in it on the inside and was badly cracked, so we had to have it torn out and replaced.
The good news today is that the seamless steel siding is ready to go on. It's made right on a truck, brought to the site. Each piece is cut to size, then simply nailed into place. A month and a half later, all of the siding is on, and we can finally see the way this house was meant to look. In the kitchen, the installation is being completed on the countertops and custom maple cabinets. Also made of maple are these antique doors, which were salvaged from a 1920s office building. Dick and Sue plan to put them in the bedrooms, so the windows in them will allow more light into the interior of the house. On our final trip to the house, 3 months later, the huge deck is complete and being power washed. The finishing touches are also going on the screen porches. Inside, Sue's much anticipated library is starting to really look like a library. In no time at all, these shelves will be stacked with books. Well, here it is. 9 months of construction, and Dick and Sue have a beautiful new house. We'll take a tour of it next, so stay with us. Welcome back to Before and After. Now, we're outside this beautifully remodeled farm home, which is now a dream farm home, and we're going to reward your patience in just a moment with a tour of both the outside as well as the inside of the home. If you've been watching from the beginning, you'll recall that it wasn't so beautiful in the beginning. It was an old farmhouse in desperate need of repair. The owners, Dick and Sue, had been raising their family in it for nearly 17 years, knowing that someday they would turn it into their dream house. Well, that day has finally arrived, and we're going to visit with Dick and Sue, the homeowners, again in just a moment. But first, if you'll recall, from the beginning of the program, this is Jeff Stromgren of Rice Stromgren Architects. Now, they're responsible for the entire redesign of this home. Jeff, let's talk about the changes, first of all, on the outside of the house, starting on the front, this side, which is the east side.
Correct.
Tell me about the before and, of course, the after.
Okay, looking at the earlier form of the house, you can see it was an entry, but it really wasn't used that way. What we've done now is we've added a screen porch and then the entry porch to draw your eye to the front door. As you move towards the north, you can see a lot of windows around the entry, and then you can see the in-laws wing, which we built for Dick's parents.
Okay, this looks great. Now let's go around to the back side of the house, which would be the west or northwest side over there.
Correct.
Before, again, very typical, but tell me about what it is now.
All right, you can see starting on this side, the in-laws wing with their own screen porch, kind of a private retreat. And as we move towards the bluff, you see the big decks we have, one off the family room and one off the master bedroom above.
Right, so they have great views on the outside of the house as well from that deck. Okay, let's continue on around to what would be, what, the south side of the house?
South side, yes.
Again, just a typical farm home on that end of the house. But now, look at this, quite a bit different.
Very different. We've added a large addition for the kitchen and dining area with a bedroom above. You can see the screen porch and a large deck coming off of that.
It's absolutely beautiful. You've done a fantastic job on this now dream home. And we're going to take a tour of the inside of the home in just a moment. But before we do that, let's take one more look at the amazing transformation on the outside of this home. Well, here they are, the very happy homeowners, Dick and Sue. You guys have got to love this place.
Oh, yes.
We do.
It is a beautiful home. Why don't we go through it, okay? And let's start over in one of your favorite rooms, the family room. This used to be the old kitchen, right? Tell me about that.
That's right. That kitchen that I did not care for at all. It had that very small pantry in the back where no cupboards worked, no drawers would pull out. Now it's one of my favorite spaces. The sunshine pours in through there on the south and the west sides. I can open the doors and to the deck and just flow with the room, and we can entertain there very easily. It holds a lot of people, and then of course that wood-burning fireplace on the north side is wonderful.
This is beautiful. Okay, now let's come on around to this area. This is the library. This is something that you really wanted also. This library was a different space as well. What was that before?
The library was originally the living room and a storage room that we had been using for a den.
Right.
We were able to save the wood floor in there. That's an oak floor that we refinished. Then we put a computer space on one end, worked around with more bookcases, added a gas fireplace to warm it up a little, and then finished the rest of the room with bookshelves. And we have fewer windows in there just because it's on the north side of the house and it keeps it warmer there in the winter time.
It's a great getaway room in there. Okay, now let's come out of the library into this area. This is what we're calling the salon area. Nice open feel. Now this was part of the dining room.
That's right, where that old chandelier was.
Yeah.
And now it's a very welcoming room. The sun just pours through that room.
Very open space as well. Okay, now over here, this is all new space. This is where your parents live, right? Dick, tell me about this area.
Yes, my parents are retired and they decided to move in with us because they don't need to shovel the snow and mow the lawn anymore.
Right.
We've added a full bathroom on, a bedroom, and then a living room, and on the end is a screen porch that allows them to sit outside in the summertime and enjoy the weather.
Boy, that's great. They've got their own space now. Now, we're in the kitchen here, which we'll come back to in a minute because this is a great space as well. But now let's go upstairs, all right? When we top the stairs, one of the first things we see is a new laundry room over there. What was that area?
That laundry room was a part of our bedroom that Dick and I stayed in. That laundry room is a second floor laundry room, which is wonderful. It's very convenient for all the kids and us to get things in, and it has a lot of storage.
It really does. And right next to the laundry room is a new bath.
That's right. That's the kids' bathroom. We no longer have 4 people sharing one little sink.
Like before.
That's right.
Okay, now let's come out of this area, out of the bathroom, into this hallway. This is very nice and open. What was all this space?
Originally, this was part of 2 bedrooms and the old staircase that came up. We now have a window on the stairway that brings the light into the center of the house. We have a wide open space for the kids to get back and forth to the bedrooms and everything, and we have more bookcases up there for storage.
Okay, now off the hallway is the new master suite. This is beautiful. Master bedroom and bath. What was this area before?
That area was the old bathroom and a small half storage area. It was a half bedroom that had existed there.
Okay.
And now I call this space my treehouse because it's just like living outdoors. The windows allow the outdoors in, and yet it's very intimate and cozy. It has the fireplace, and it's just a wonderful room. Then we have our own deck off the north side, which is
nice for coffee or tea in the morning.
And we've done that many times.
Okay, now let's go from there over into the master bathroom. This is beautiful.
This is where we put in the whirlpool tub. We have the 2 sinks so we don't bump into each other in the morning, and then for convenience we've got the shower that's in there that has plenty of room in that. So it's not a huge space, but it's very efficient and works very well.
What a great space. Okay, now let's come back out to a couple of new areas that we have upstairs. They didn't exist before. You have 2 kids. This is your son's room. Very nice space, plenty of room for him. He's got to love this area. And then over on this side is your daughter's room. She's a teenager, she's got plenty of space, and she's got her own deck as well. So I know they love these 2 spaces up here.
They love it a lot.
Now let's come back downstairs here, where we are, brand new big kitchen. Tell me about this.
This kitchen is probably my very favorite spot. It has maple cabinetry and of course the tile flooring. It's a wonderful place to entertain. I can sit at my appliances and all my guests can be here. We can smorgasbord on the island without any problem, and there's plenty of storage.
Well, it's obvious why this is one of your favorite spaces. It's a beautiful kitchen and a beautiful home. Thank you so much for letting us be a part of it. Thanks also to Jeff Stromgren of Rice Stromgren Architects for redesigning the whole thing and letting us be a part of that as well, and Terrasol Restoration and Renovation. They were the construction crew on this project. Now, we're going to take a break, but don't go away, because when we come back, we're going to take a look at it before and after from our before and after photo album. But before we do that, let's take one more quick look at the amazing transformation of this beautiful new home. If you have questions or comments, we'd like to hear from you. Write to us at Before and After in care of HGTV, Box 50970, Knoxville, Tennessee 37950. Be sure to include today's episode number and your daytime phone number. Welcome back to Before and After. Before we end our show, we'd like to give you a quick look at another whole house remodel. Eric Bailey of ESB Carpentry undertook his own Danbury, Connecticut remodel. Working nights and weekends, he turned it into this beautiful two-story home with plenty of room for his family. The old back of the house was plain with unmatched windows and an odd porch addition. The new back has a wonderful new deck with copper spindles. The old kitchen was completely demolished so the homeowners could start over and add special features, like this toe kick heater for the center island. The new kitchen is bigger and open with beautiful new oak cabinets. Once again, here's the before and the after. Twice the home it used to be. Thanks for joining us on this edition of Before and After. Now be sure to tune in again when we'll feature another amazing whole house transformation. I'll see you next time. I'm Pat Simpson.